Western Slope, what's going on? Titus Cleveland here, bringing you the latest sports news from this side of the mountain. Week 4 of the NFL season is here, but before the games kick off, there's something else on the line. This season is not just about wins and losses on the field. It's about whether you can make the right calls off of it. It's the 2025 Pro Football Challenge presented by Ford. We got 15 games on the slate this week. 2 games stand out to me, and it's the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the New York Giants, and then you got Green Bay Packers heading into Dallas to face the Cowboys. Let's start with the Packers. They're trying to prove they belong in the NFC's top tier. This is about identity. You don't want back-to-back weeks of inconsistency if you're Green Bay. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are already in survival mode. At 1-2 on the year, you can't afford to dig a hole this early in the season. But the headline here is Micah Parsons. He's back at AT&T Stadium. He's been wrecking games for Green Bay. 5 pressures a game, and when you think about this matchup, it's simple. If Dallas doesn't have an answer for Parsons, they're not winning this football game.
Just getting to go out there and compete with a guy that's a good friend that I've competed with in numbers of ways throughout this building, outside of this building. Yeah, just excited to go and have that matchup. But he's got 5 guys up front plus tight ends and running backs that he's got to get through. It takes all of us to protect, myself included. We all know that nothing changes this week. So yeah, he's a hell of a player. We respect that, and he'll have some attention.
Yeah, Parsons is just one of those guys that just smells blood in the water. You give him a mismatch, and he knows exactly when to flip the switch and go take over a game. And the worst part is the worst time possible for Dallas to be dealing with an offensive line issues. They're still trying to navigate injuries up front, and the pass protection from the tackles has been shaky at best. And that's why I lean to Green Bay. If Parsons controls the lines of scrimmage, the Packers control this game. And let's go over to the Giants versus Chargers, the second game that I had. And the Chargers defense gets a rookie quarterback this week in Jackson Dart, and Jim Harbaugh isn't sugarcoating it. He expects Dart to be good, and that's the right approach, because the last thing you want to do with the rookie is underestimate him. For the Giants, Brian Daboll naming Dart for the starter for the rest of the season tells you this isn't a short-term experiment. They're going to live with the ups and downs, and they believe his talent can elevate this offense.
Looking forward to it. Really just excited to get out there on the field, compete, and play with the guys who we put a lot of work in, and excited for the opportunity and very humble for it.
I feel like I've worked hard and prepared, so I'm just excited to get out there on the field and try to execute this offense to the best of my ability.
Perspective, this comes down to disguise and pressure, but Dart's tape shows poise. He doesn't panic when the first option isn't there, and that's what makes him so dangerous. However, the Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert leads the NFL in passing yards and has a lot of dangerous pass-catching options, and Ladd McConkey, who had over 1,000 receiving yards in his rookie year, Keenan Allen, who looks rejuvenated now that he's back with his team, his old team, and Quentin Johnson is on course for a career year. I'm leaning towards Herbert and the Chargers to remain undefeated and come out on top in this one. Here are the rest of my picks for the week 4. I feel pretty confident in these selections. The clock is ticking. Head to westernsslopenow.com/2025 Pro Football Challenge. Lock in your winners, and let's see if you got what it takes to beat the rest.